purpose of this video is to get the whole outside of this foundation all the way around 360 degrees, grade it off to the final grade and finish it. So the plan is I'm going to have a retaining wall right here and then another retaining wall on the other side identical to this one. It's going to wrap around to about here, and then I'm going to fill all this in about another 2 feet, maybe 30 inches or so right here, and then I'm going to put like 4 to 6 inches of topsoil and make a garden bed all the way around this house, about 3 feet out, maybe 4 feet. We'll see how much room we have here. So the first thing I'm going to do is put a bunch of crusher run up against the foundation, just as tall as I can stack it, and then we'll push some of this stuff in here, and then we'll go get more of this stuff from a borrow pit that I'm never going to return the stuff to, and then we'll smooth that all out, and then I'll put more fill here, a lot more fill here. This needs to come up like 18 inches, and then at that point everything will be level, and then we'll put the garden bed right on the side of the house, and that will be sticking up further than everything, so everything drains down this way. And then over here this will be filled up quite a bit, so it will also taper that way so that the rain never sees its way into there. That way the water never drains this way, it always drains this way. And once I'm done with this side, I'm going to go to the other side and do everything identical so that everything is symmetrical. So then on the front here, this is left really rough from doing the septic system, so we're going to fill this in. It's going to be like 30 inches to 3 feet of fill right here. Same thing over here, and then this is going to be a deck here, so I'm not going to do anything special there. But then on both of these sides, we're going to put garden beds as well, flower beds, whatever you want to call it. We're going to put some sort of plants in there, make it look nice. The whole reason I want to do this, normally you don't do this, normally you wait to build the house to do this, but this is my house, so I'm doing it my way, and I want it to be as safe as possible around here. I don't want big rocks sticking up and the dirt all rough and people tripping over things, sharp rocks everywhere. A lot of this is shale and it's pretty sharp and it's not kid friendly, so I want to make this as safe as possible. Right now we have a fence around that whole area, that way Noah can stay in there and we don't have to worry about him running off, and the dogs will stay in there and we don't have to worry about them running off. After we get all the way around the house done, I'm going to go over here and do a whole bunch of work in this field here, but we'll get to that when we're done and I'll explain that later. So I do need to do some work to this area right here. I need to bring it up like another 10 to 12 inches right here and then taper it down into here. But that's all part of the driveway. So for right now, I'm good on this whole side. Pretty much this whole half of the house is graded off except for the retaining wall that I need to do back there. This is all graded off the way I need it. And I'm gonna create some sort of border here and then put some grass. This soil that I brought over will grow grass easily. A lot of the stuff that we have here is mostly clay, but this is actually good topsoil here. For the purposes of getting grass seed started, this is good for now. So now we'll work on the retaining wall over here, and then we'll go around to the other side and do work over there. So for this retaining wall, I left it real rough right here. I actually have zero experience with landscaping, anything to do with landscaping. I never really got into it at all. I did some research on it, but I've never done it before. Basically, I want to start at that corner, swoop over here, stay straight for like the first 8 feet, and then start swooping over here. And then it'll like kind of have a border all the way around, and then it'll meet up with the border for the flower garden around here. I still need to raise the grade up about 8 inches in this whole area here. So that's good because now I can just basically place some crusher run right on the ground right there as the foundation. It's kind of like the footing for the blocks. I'm going to do that 8 inches thick. So basically the top of that is going to be my grade when I'm done. So that basically I just need to scrape a little bit right there, and then that's all good. Here I just need to dig out up here, because the idea is that I want the outside of the retaining wall to come around and meet up with the border up there, which is going to be 3 feet out, pretty much where that light is right now. So once I get up into here, I kind of need to step it up, because there's no reason for me to dig 6 feet down and continue a retaining wall underneath of everything, because this is going to be the level over here and this is going to be the level over here. So it's just a waste of a lot of blocks and a lot of work too to continue the bottom of it all the way around. So I'll step it up in 8-inch increments. every one of them has stone inside of them. And then I'm just trying to figure out how I'm going to put this cap on here. I think this is how you do it, where you just interlock on the straight run. And then when it gets to the curved one over here, I'm going to have to custom cut each one to the angle. I'm also going to put some filter fabric over top of this, right over top of here and right down into there. That way if silt's coming this way, it doesn't get into this stone. Keeps this stone clean. If you have silt getting all in this stone, then it becomes like topsoil again. And topsoil is something that stays wet. So in the winter, during the day when it melts, the topsoil will be wet, and then at night it'll freeze and it'll push out the wall. Those pipes were going to be used as a sleeve for the geothermal system, but I'm actually going to, it's going to be coming from over there, so I'm going to just go right up here and right straight into the utility room. So this whole area can get a retaining wall, and it can get addressed everywhere around here. Over here, this is all rocks that came out when I was digging the foundation. I thought I was going to use them to backfill to take up some of the space there, but I'm already close to the level, so I don't want giant rocks in there. But I have another place I could use these to fill up an area, so I'm going to bring them over there with a skid steer. And then this whole thing, we can address that. basically I don't even need to cut anything until about right there. This is all low enough, so I'm just going to add some crusher run, compact it, and then start my wall here, finish the straight part of it, and then I'll start digging for the rest of it. The gutter downspout drain put in, connected over here. So this whole side is coated with topsoil. I put some seed on before that, so this is ready to go. All it needs is some straw. And I also put these steps here too. I think it was just missing that. Just didn't look complete without that. I just want to step it up a few more steps, and then later on when we're done building, I can connect a little garden fence and then bring the flowers all the way around. So that's why I haven't capped this yet, but we'll get to that. Right now, the other few things I wanted to finish, this whole area right here, I just want to make this all nice looking. Right now it's just all overgrown, a lot of rocks and clay. And the reason I never really did anything with this area is because it needs a little work first. I need to connect a drain. I have a footing drain right here, and that flows into the pond. And so what I did is I had some extra sock on the end that's like filter fabric that you wrap around the pipe. So I just left that on there so that no animals get in there. So that's perforated pipe all the way to that point. I'm going to turn that into solid pipe and then bring it right out to there. And then I have another drain right here, which you can't see because it's all overgrown here, but that is for the drain for underneath my natural pool up there. If you guys remember when I put that natural pool in, I had a liner, and then underneath the liner I put a bunch of drainage stone, some filter fabric, and I put some drains in, so that way the water doesn't make the liner push up. Exit that into the pond as well. I'm going to try to get them pretty close to each other. So then the only thing that I need to disturb is over right there. I'm going to have my geothermal loop for the pond. So that whole upper area next to my excavator there, and then to the right of my skid steer there, that will be where I put the geothermal loop going through the ground, and then bring it over into the house to the utility room over on that side. looks pretty good, right? I still need to do some work over there, but that's like 50 feet away from the house, so I'm not too concerned about that right now. That needs to be dressed up over there, but the rest of this is all good.
Dad, the chickens are already eating it.
Yeah, I know. This whole area here is the borrow pit for all the dirt that I brought over to fill in next to my foundation. So I know I have a bunch left here, but I don't really know exactly how much I have until I start evening this out, because right now it's really rough. I've just been taking scoops out. I haven't been leveling anything out. So some places is like 6 to 8 feet deep, and then some places are mounded up like that is all rocks. All that's just boulders like 3 feet or bigger. And so the plan was to dig as much as I can, as deep as I can, put those boulders in there, and then that'll allow me to take the most amount of dirt out of here. So right now I'm gonna dig this spot even deeper and then put all those boulders in there, and then the dirt that I took out I'm gonna stockpile, and then I gotta take the dozer and just flatten this all out so I know what I'm working with, because right now it's kind of hard to tell. The pond is also really low too, so I have to keep that in mind. I don't want to go too low. because it's been changing a lot. We're in like a drought right now, so. So this is the next area I need to address here. This whole thing is real rough. We put some stone here just temporarily, just because I had some wood stored here that we were using for building. But I wanted to get all that stuff out of here, and now I want to make this all a nice lawn right here. I want to be able to put a small pool, a play set, and a trampoline over here. And I want to grow grass all around it and maybe even put a fence around it. This is a nice like 60 by 60 area here. So I just need to raise the grade up so that everything can continue sloping to the pond. I'm gonna use my rock bucket to sift out all the rocks as I bring in these loads of dirt. The consensus on this area has changed. We were gonna grow grass in this whole area, but we decided that we're gonna have so many things in this area that it's gonna be hard to mow around everything all the time. Plus we might fence it in, so that makes it even harder. So what we're gonna do now is put some really fine stone in here. I got some stuff that's called 1B. It's like 1/4 inch clean crushed rock with no fines in it. I've never got this stuff before, but it's only like $1.50 per ton more than number 2 stone, so it's not that expensive. I don't really feel like putting geo down here, but I feel like I should, because it's gonna grow weeds otherwise up through the stones, so I want to keep the weeds out of here. We were also thinking about putting sand here, but sand, when it gets wet and you got wet feet, it like tracks in the house and stuff. Okay, so over this weekend, I put that trampoline there. This pool right here. This pool is only $169 at Tractor Supply. And then we got that little play set and then this little thing right here. So we made good use of this area. I'm still filling up stuff. I don't have quite enough water in there, but makes a nice little area. There's all their vehicles. So it actually just rained, which was very welcome because it's not rained in a few weeks. Very dry around here. So I'm really happy with the way these retaining walls turned out. I was able to match them up very well. For some reason these flowers died, but everything else is doing really good. And at night it's really cool because we got them lights there, we got lights there, so it's like a little pathway. This is the only part that I think didn't really take that well. This area right here, and then going up that way. This whole area right here didn't really take with the grass. Grass is doing good there, it's doing good there. But this is the main path that we walk every day, all day, every day. So this path right here is not really growing grass. I think that's actually a good thing. I think what I really needed to do was put some crusher run in this area. I was trying to just save this area over here for working, like with the crane and a telehandler, a boom lift, that sort of thing for building the house. I was designated in this area here. That's why I didn't put any grass here. Also, it works out good because I need to put the geothermal loop coming out from there and then over into the pond. So that's why I didn't address this area that well. I still graded it, but it doesn't have topsoil and seed. I just put some topsoil there. But I think actually it works out pretty good over here that this didn't grow grass, because I think I'm just going to end up driving over anyways. And that crane has like 10,000 pounds on each tire. So it's definitely going to ruin the grass anyways. Just walking on it just compacted it too much, and the roots don't grow that well. So once I put the geothermal loop in, I can address this whole area. My plan for this basically entire property is every area needs either grass or it needs some sort of stone, because the dirt around here is really dusty. And when I was going back and forth with the skid steer, it looked like the skid steer was smoking, but it's not. It's just the dust around here. It's just been so dry. I thought it'd be really cool to put like an outdoor projector screen right there. And then this lawn would be a perfect place to like sit and watch a movie or something. It just kind of feels like that area. It looks really brown right now, but a lot of that's just because there's so much straw in here. It actually is doing pretty good. And the chickens keep going in the straw, and they like push the straw aside and they bunch it up in some areas, and then the grass doesn't really grow that well because of that. But like this all was green before, and now it's all like dying because the chickens just keep covering it with the straw. I don't even need straw on this anymore. This little retaining wall here, I like the way that turned out. And like I said, I've never done this before. And I have no idea how to plan this stuff out. Landscaping is just not something I really have any experience with. So this is kind of neat here, because this little spot here is right over where the kitchen sink is going to be. Kitchen sink's going to be right here with a window right here, so you can actually look down here if you're like doing dishes or something. Plus you can see everything else around here. And then there'll be a pretty big window here from the living room, and then you can see everything that goes on in here as well as all that stuff there. So it'll be a pretty nice view. What's also nice about that area that we created is this little penned-in area here. We took a lot of the stuff out of there. There's still a lot of stuff in there. It's all kid stuff, but we were able to move some of it over there. That definitely frees up some space. So maybe this can be more of an adult space now. So the landscaping here wasn't too bad. It was a lot of work, a lot more than I thought. I spent quite a bit more money than I thought too. These retaining walls I probably have about $800 into, and then probably like $1,000, because then there's some material that I put in there. The mulch and the topsoil and the stone and the fabric and the caps and the blocks and the adhesive and all that stuff. There's probably $1,000 into that, so $500 per side. I've had a lot of comments on how this skid steer seems to be working pretty good since I fixed it, and yes, it has. That's the answer. It's been working really good. I have no complaints. There's no smoking on it. It starts up right away, runs good with lots of power. I've had zero problems with it. I don't know if you guys remember, but over there we used to have 2 big pigs. We got those pigs butchered actually, and we ended up getting another pig for a pet. So that's Delilah, and she's actually a friendly pig. She's a mini pig. So I think she's much more suitable for us than the other pigs, because they were getting really aggressive and mean. I ended up getting about 500 pounds of meat from them. But she's not going to be for meat. She's a pet. We had her inside for a while too. We actually let her roam around here with no leash or anything. She never goes anywhere. She's kind of spoiled though. So I made this look the best I could without getting involved in doing the siding. Just for any of you that didn't watch the first video, the process for doing that is I'm going to cut that foam down right along the edge that I want, and then I'm going to put stucco over it to cover the foam, and then from there on up all the way to the roof is going to be stucco. It's going to have like a mesh, like a fiberglass mesh in there, and it's like a stucco, but it's made by Build Block, so I'm going to use that product because it's meant for ICFs. So then it'll look official once I do that. So this foam is all going to come off. I didn't realize that I would be so low on it. You know, all that stuff is going to come off, and it's going to look good when I'm done. And it's going to be very simple too. It's not a lot of materials. I've done jobs on houses where it was $20,000 siding job. I'm going to spend like $500 on materials. I actually put a temporary ERV in here, and that basically gives the building fresh air at all times. And right now I think it's on a 40 CFM setting. That's about 850 square feet in there right now, so that's plenty for that. So it's always seeing fresh air. I actually have a carbon dioxide meter in there, so you can actually meter how much carbon dioxide is in the air, and it usually stays around 450 ppm. And I also have a radon detector, and without doing any radon mitigation in here, I'm below the threshold that I need to be, so that's good. That mini split has been working really good. That unit right there plugs right into the wall. It's 110 volts, so you don't even have to run a dedicated line to it or anything. You just plug it right into an existing outlet. It was only $500 for that unit, brand new, shipped. So this area over here, I grew grass here, and I didn't even plant any grass. I didn't do anything. This is just from grading this off with a dozer 2 years ago. And this year it was just all overgrown stuff, and I just took a mower and mowed this, and now it's like a nice area. It looks patchy right now, but that's because we've had no rain for weeks, months actually. And I got my garden. Alright, so I'm really glad to be beyond all this stuff that I've been doing lately, and I've been really biting at the bullet to start building here. A lot of you guys have been asking why I'm not building yet, and the main reason was I still needed to do a lot of work to my other house before I could put it on the market. So now that that's done, I am like a free man, and I can do all kinds of stuff over here, get this thing built really quick, as long as the heat lets us, because it's really hot out lately. So anyways, now that I can move on, I'm going to start tomorrow on starting these walls, and I'll see you guys on those videos.